Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. Sheriff's Department in Lafourche Parish is investigating and actually made an arrest in a couple of shootings that happened this past week in Raceland. Here to talk a little more about it is Captain Brendan Mathern. He's the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office, a Public Information Officer. Thanks so much for joining us, Brendan. Yeah, kind of an active week there that you guys, I guess, don't like to see that kind of activity, right?
Yes, thankfully in these two shootings that we're going to talk about today, we had no injuries involved, and it was just, it ends up as property damage or reports of shots fired. But yeah, no, the first incident that we want to talk about happened on Wednesday, April 24th. And in that incident, you basically had two SUVs that were, in close proximity to one another. It based on investigation, it appears that one was following the other very closely, probably trying to track them down, and at one point opened fire on the SUV in front of them. The driver of the second vehicle, we were able to identify and make an arrest. That is 22-year-old Joshua Ingram Jr. of Raceland. He was arrested after the investigation, along with assistance from Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office as well as St. James Parish Sheriff's Office. He was actually arrested in St. James Parish. Now, we identified him as the driver, so he was actually charged with principal to attempted second-degree murder. In this case, we are still searching for the suspected shooter in this case, who would have been Ingram's passenger. So ultimately, the investigation is continuing in that particular incident. But that one occurred in Raceland, around the area of St. Louis Street and Garden Street. The second incident occurred 2 days later. And then, by the way, that first incident happened at 3:15 in the afternoon. And I guess that's the concern, right? I mean, that these shootings are happening in broad daylight.
Kids are getting off the buses.
The second incident occurred shortly after noon on Friday, April 26th. And in that incident, again, no one was hit or no reported injuries, but again, involving two vehicles, this time around the intersection of Io Street and LA 1 in Raceland. So we found evidence of a shooting there, multiple reports of shots fired. So we're still investigating. As both of these investigations continue, like always, we're asking for the public if they can come forward with any information that may help us. You can always submit a tip anonymously to Crime Stoppers, Bayou Region Crime Stoppers at 1-800-743-7433. You can also provide information through the website at crimestoppersbr.org, or as the most popular way to submit information, through our Bayou Tips mobile app on your smartphone or internet-enabled device.
Yeah, Brendan, obviously the obvious follow-up would be, do you think these are related? They're both in Raceland, but not in the same exact area. But do you think these might be related? I guess that's what the investigation is about.
Yeah, ultimately, we're continuing the investigation. We've had now a series of about 4 or 5 shootings in the span of about a week and a half, dating back to the previous week in Thibodaux and in the Raceland area. We're continuing to investigate to see if, in fact, any or all of these shootings are related. There was no evidence on the first two that they were connected, the one in Raceland and Thibodaux, but we're continuing to conduct our investigations to find out. It's very possible that we could end up finding that we have arrests or multiple arrests for multiple incidents. So ultimately, we'll continue to investigate, and as that information surfaces, we'll be able to make it public.
Yeah, and that's why, the Crime Stoppers BayouRegion.org and Bayou Tips would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, again, shootings at 3:15 in the afternoon when kids are getting off of buses is not the optimal time for that, for sure. So, any way you can guide, anybody in the public can help out, they'd certainly appreciate it. Let's go over to the Sheriff of the Day, and this is a little thing that you guys have been doing in Lafourche for a while, right?
Yeah, as part of Lafourche Parish's Student Government Day, which occurs typically every April, we participate along with, Lafourche Parish government, City of Thibodaux government. The Lafourche Parish School Board is obviously heavily involved, given that its students come from 3 of the major high schools, as well as E.D. White Catholic High School, which is where we got our sheriff from the day from. Our sheriff for the day on Monday was Michael Beck III. His parents, as you see him pictured here with Captain Mike Beck Jr. and Captain Carla Beck, both of the sheriff's office. He was able to participate as our official sheriff for the day. Essentially what the Student Government Day program encourages is, high school students to be able to shadow local public officials in and around Lafourche Parish over the course of the day, so they can see sort of how the machine works, right? So they can see how decisions are made, see, some of the more intriguing points of the job. It's no secret that students at, in high school may not quite understand the inner workings of local government, local law enforcement. So this is an opportunity for them to see that, as well as meet some of the people that are current leaders, in the hopes that these will be some of our future leaders of Lafourche Parish. And in our case, we're able to host a student every year that in some cases may have aspirations to be law enforcement, but not necessarily to show them what it's like to be sheriff and to give them a tour of some LPSO facilities such as our correctional complex.
Yeah, look, we saw that summer of 2020, it was a real bummer for law enforcement, right? And so I think everybody's been playing catch up for that. It's a great recruitment tool to actually to actually hands-on and talk to some of these possible recruits down the road.
Oh, no question. And look, anytime that we get an opportunity, so I'll take it here. Look, we are hiring. We have openings in every position, at every level, pretty much at the sheriff's office. And just like every other industry, we're looking for employees. So anyone interested in getting their foot in the door, www.lpso.net/apply is the quickest and easiest way to get started.
All right, Brendan Mathern, thanks so much for the update. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Harry.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.